Ready?
Yes.
Ready with the button?
I'm ready with the button when you are. Well, you don't need to be ready. I need to be ready.
I'm already ready.
You ready?
No, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I had to learn how to play melodeon for this one.
Oh.
Well, it's a small
It's a small
melodeon playing, but it's important.
role.
Yeah. Right, Lazy Farmer. A young farmer and he wouldn't sow corn and he wouldn't do work from night till morn, and why that was we never could tell, for that young bugger was always well. He sown his corn on June the last, and in July it was up to his arse, and in September there came a flood, and that young fellow's corn was mud. His courtship had just begun, and she said, "Kind sir, have you hoed your corn? I've tried, but it's all in vain. I don't believe that I'll raise a grain." "Then why do you come to me," she said, "if you cannot raise your uncle Ned?" Said, "Girl, I am and will remain a lazy sod, and I do maintain He hung his head and he walked away, and he said, "Kind miss, you'll rue the day. You'll rue the day that you ever was born, for giving me grief 'cause I wouldn't hoe corn." He went to his field, he got there at last, and the grass and the weeds, they were up to his arse. And the grass and the weeds, they'd grown so high, it caused this poor fella for to sigh. His courtship was over and done, and on his way he then begun. He said, "Kind miss, I'll have another girl if I have to ramble this big wide world." Was a young farmer and he wouldn't sow corn, and he wouldn't do work from night till morn, and why that was we never could tell, for that young bugger was always well.
sleeve notes of your album, you say that you enjoy singing it because you get to sing bugger and arse.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, actually now you put it like that,
Yeah.
it's a little bit suspicious.
It's not quite what the song's about, but
It's a song with swearing in it.
yeah,
Quite,
and it's got sod in it as well, which
Yeah.
just makes it even more.
indeed.
No, but it's what we like to call agricultural language. But yeah, it's a I think it's like Saul was saying earlier. Actually, it's a sort of a slightly dubious story to a happy tune, which is kind of what we do, isn't it? Really.
I sold a copy of that album to a farmer the other night, and he went, "I'm not happy about that." Well, it's not about you.
Where did the idea of putting the squeeze box and the dulcimer together come from? Did that sort of come quite naturally? Or?
Just because that's what we play, I think, really.
We did think about kazoo and tambourine, didn't we?
It didn't work.
No.
It didn't work. You know, the kazoo,
Yeah. I kept breaking it.
underrated instrument.
Yeah.
The best answer to that question would be basically when Matt joined the band, we hit it off. He and I hit it off, and he was living on a boat in Reading at the time, and I was in Watford, so quite close together. So many a weekend would be spent on the boat, just playing tunes, and quite like with Dan Plews, he and I went on to form Dancehall after the Kings of Calicut. Just you join a band and little offshoots, little kind of you go down different avenues, and we've just decided that we quite like the sound the two instruments make. They're curiously similar instruments because they're both diatonic, and they're both limited in terms of, if you think about a two-row melodeon, has about the same kind of range and note selection as a sort of standard dulcimer.
Yeah.
So they're suited to each other.
Yeah, and because the dulcimer obviously has no real sustain, it doesn't do the kind of the wash, so you get the best. If you get you can have the long chords from the melodeon and the kind of the percussive element from the dulcimer, so they really, I think, complement each other in that way.
Okay, so being in a duo is quite a close relationship. Do you have different roles within the duo, and you've got what strengths and weaknesses between you?
I'd love to think we were that organised.
You buy lots of Lucozade.
Yeah, I do.
And
I do buy lots of Lucozade, and Lucozade Sport Isotonic is
Yeah.
because John Barnes advertised it. Of course, he played for Watford and is a footballing god.
Yeah, and you did tend to do a lot of the driving in the early days.
But that's because I had the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what am I saying? You used to buy the Lucozade and drive.
Yeah, and you used
and
to
I
occupy the
used to
passenger seat and drink my Lucozade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So that's the roles. I am Lucozade buyer, and he is
and
passenger.
I sit. Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks.
You do it well, I tell you.
Well, I've been doing it a long time.
Yes.